Hey everyone, so I'm doing my next chapter on John Maxwell. That's your roadmap for success. You can get there from here. And for me, I had mentioned that I'm job hunting. So because I'm on my own, nobody's really interested in your life, to be honest with you. Nobody's interested in your life and nobody's interested in my life. What people are interested in is how can you help them get to where they want to be. And how can you help their families, their relatives, their children? That's what they're interested in. For example, when I call my uncle to talk about my problems, he immediately switches the conversation to talk about his wife's family. So I don't call him anymore. In fact, I don't talk to anybody. I talk to a few of my friends. They tell me their plans, their dreams, their goals, what they're intending to do. I say very little in those conversations. I listen to them. I have my own plans, my own dreams, my own things that I want to accomplish. But most of the time, people are just going to put me down. They're just going to kill my dreams, tell me how stupid I am, laugh at me, tell me those successes that you got on that last call. We're not interested in them. So tell me how bad my scores were, even though I won Employee of the Month many times. So I'm just here to prepare you for how life is in North America. And what can we do? What can we do to achieve our dreams, to achieve our goals? So when I was in South Africa, I was on my own, the same way as here in Canada. And I focused on my goal. I focused on what I wanted to accomplish. So John Maxwell gives good pointers in this chapter that I just finished. And there are things that I think if you are doing them already, they're good reminders of what you can do. So this was, what should I pack in my suitcase? So the thing to remember is, how can I use it? What is it going to achieve? And how is it going to help me to grow or benefit somebody? Right now I'm not working, so obviously I'm spending at least an hour a day applying for jobs, not just using one website, but checking out different companies, checking out the companies I'm interested in working for, seeing what's happening with them, how is their reputation, what are employees saying about them. If you go on Glassdoor, you can get a pretty good idea of what people think about the companies they're working at, what they have to say about the environment, what they have to say about the culture, what they have to say about the opportunities to earn good salaries, whether they're offering a pension. The company I'm working for, they don't offer a pension, Teleperformance. So obviously I'm looking at exploring opportunities outside of there while building my business. And they don't care about me. They want to make a profit. So, yes, they do what they have to do by the law. They do the bare minimum of what they have to do. But they don't look at my full history. They don't look at how good I was. They don't look at how I helped the client to improve things, not just for me, but for the whole company. All of that is not considered when they look at my performance evaluation or when they look at the pulse of the organization. And if all your employees are saying the same thing, that we want a pension, we want better hours, we want better pay, then that's a reflection of your company. It's not just a reflection of me as an individual. It's the same thing as Canada. If everybody's saying we don't want food banks, we don't want to be in a situation where people can't afford to make ends meet, then that's not a reflection of me. But some people take it personally. They're saying that it's you. You are the problem. It's happening to you. You have a bad relationship with the police. But I don't actually have a good relationship with the police. The police have always supported me. They've always tried to help, even in harassment. So it depends where their perspective is and how they are approaching things. If we are complacent, we're not going to continue to learn, to grow. I wouldn't be reading this book. And sometimes I do read for pleasure. I mean, I I read books that are non-fiction as well as books that are biographies. But again, I'm not being complacent. I'm reading because that helps me to improve my language skills. I'm reading because that helps me to improve my writing. I practice cursive writing at home when I journal. So I'm not just on the computer all the time. And what I do is I make time, I divide my day. So I have 1 hour that I dedicate to the Lord. And I have a flexible schedule because I don't know what's going to come up when. I dedicate that time, whether it's watching the Mass or listening to a sermon or listening to a resource, watching videos on YouTube. I don't listen to tapes. That was the thing in the 80s. We had these tapes that you could play in the car. But I will watch videos on YouTube. I'll read my John Maxwell for an hour. I practice my piano. And you don't have to say, okay, I'm going to do it every day. If you want to be a world-class pianist and you want to tour, then yes, you're going to do it every day and you're going to do at least an hour every day. But I don't. That's not my goal. So I make sure I practice my piano at least once a week. And I normally do an hour. Sometimes I do 30 minutes. When I exercise, I make sure that I'm exercising at least 3 times a week. So if you're complacent, you're not going to achieve those things and you're not going to grow. It's the same thing with learning. If you're complacent and you think you know it all, you're not going to continue to take classes. You're not going to continue to renew your dues for your HRPA. You're not going to talk to other people and jump on calls like I do with the Maxwell team or with the HRPA because you know it all. So why would you do those things? But if you want to reach your potential, if you want to have those opportunities to grow, then you're going to do what I'm doing. You're going to find those resources, whether they're on YouTube or whether they are magazines that people where you've made contributions. Like I get a magazine from the Jesuits. I'll just get it and show you. So this is the Canadian Jesuits. So I read the magazine before I throw it away. I don't keep everything. But I get a magazine from them. That gives me an idea of what they're working on, what their goals are, where my money is going if I make a contribution to them. And I get the same from the Jesuits in Britain. But to save paper and to save postage, because at one time postage coming from Europe was so expensive, I told them to just send it to me on the email. But I do read it. I get emails from Knox Shrine. I get emails from the St. Jude Society. I get emails from St. Therese of the Little Flower. I get emails from the Miraculous Medal. I get emails from the Marians. So I read those emails. I don't just delete them. I read them to see what they're doing, what their goals are, where they're helping people, because that also helps me to know where are the opportunities in ministry, where I could help, where I could get involved. I do a lot on social media for EWTN. When we're retweeting or we're reposting, we're not just doing it for the sake of it. We're doing it because we're volunteers, because we're helping them. When the media missionaries have a call, if I'm available, I join in because they share what they want us to do, how they want us to post. Even when I put those 3 bullet points from the email that I get from EWTN, I'm doing it because that's how they have suggested we do it. Or when I do a post for Results Canada, I'm doing it because those are the instructions that they've sent. Or with the One campaign, I'm not just tagging President Trump and Andy Murray and Roger Federer and all of them for the sake of it. I'm building those relationships for myself at a personal level. When it's for the one campaign, yes, I tag the one campaign. But we also have to know, how are we growing? How are we making an impact where we are? And who are we talking to? Because I don't talk to my family, because most of the time they don't see things from my perspective, and they see things in the opposite direction. So we don't talk, because they end up getting hurt, I end up getting hurt, so I don't talk to them. I used to confide in my mother, but she told my sister to tell me it's too much for her, she can't take it anymore, so I don't talk to her either. I didn't even call her for Mother's Day, because I'm like, you know what, who's taking an interest in my life? Who's picking up the phone to phone me to say, hey Belinda, how are you doing? What's happening? How's your job search going? Who's doing that for me? It's my friends. It's the friends who message me every day, every morning. They send me a good morning message. They ask me how I am. They send me flowers when I've lost my job or for my birthday. So I do the same for them when I have the money. But for the last 17 years, it's been an ongoing drag of trying to get into a good paid job, not getting the good paid jobs. So that's why I'm looking at jobs in America now, because America has a stronger economy, it's a more vast economy, and the pay is better. They're not paying the executive assistants $17 an hour. They're paying them $100,000 a year. And they're looking for people with degrees and good qualifications. They're looking for people that have that. So in some ways, we do have to put our interests at the core of what we're doing. Because if you don't care about your own life, nobody's going to care about your life. If you don't get up and take a shower every day, whether it's the beginning of the day or end of day, depending when you shower, you're going to go to the church smelling of urine. Who's going to sit next to you? Is anybody going to sit next to you? People will just move away from you. So we have to think about those things. So he gives very good examples here in this book about when you're packing, have you considered what are you taking with you? Are you taking some material to read in case there's delays, you get stuck at an airport? Are you focusing on where you want to be, or you're only focusing on now? Are you looking at all your accomplishments, or you're only looking at your failures? Because if you focus only on your failures, you're not going to get anywhere in life. I know when Regis College, I used to tweet for them and help them. They did tell me that I'm an inspiration to them and to their students. I don't see it that way, because for me, not having money, always being broke, not having enough to pay my rent, to me that is not success. Yes, I've made a difference in people's lives and I will continue to do that, but the financial piece is important. When I retire, I don't want to be left penniless. I don't want to not have a pension. I don't want to not have my own property. I also want to do what my friends want to do, to split the time between Canada and Zimbabwe, or Holland and Zimbabwe, or England and Zimbabwe. Some of my friends are already doing that. I also want to be able to do that for my life. And the financial piece is important, because if you don't have that, how are you going to accomplish all those things? And I'm not just focusing on my past knowledge of HR. This week I have 2 calls coming up that I signed up for through HRPA. Some of the things that I learned as a spiritual director, the corporate world is only catching up now. They're having seminars on creating safe working environments, psychologically safe working environments. But when I used to tell them about those things, nobody wanted to listen. So I ended up getting hurt because they were not ready for it. Now other people are offering courses and seminars and all that through HRPA, and people are signing up for it. So it's important to recognize what environment we're in. And also develop the goals daily, develop the practices daily. Because if we're not doing it daily, we're not likely to succeed. We're not likely to succeed. When I used to travel on my train coming into work, when I used to work from, I used to come from Milton to Toronto, I always used to listen to something on the trip, or I would read a book on the trip so that I didn't fall asleep, because it was a long journey, an hour and a half. So other people can do that too. Now that I'm not working, I'm looking at, I don't spend money. I don't buy things, I don't buy luxuries. I save my money, I only spend it on the essentials. I don't have money to give away to organizations that are asking me for money. But when I do get an income coming in, then I give. Whether it's $5 or $10, I give. I give $5 a month to the church, even when I'm not working, because I go to the church. I benefit from what the priests are doing, from their work, from their jobs. So I try to help wherever I can. But the financial piece is important to me, and it has always been important to me. I'm not somebody who wants to live in squalor, who wants to live in Goa where they put the pig dung on the floor to polish the floors. That's not what I want for myself. So that's what I'm saying. If you're interested in learning, if you're interested in growing, you have to focus on the future, yes. And you have to also find an atmosphere that's affirming. Not an atmosphere where they're constantly going to put you down, tell you that your scores are not good, tell you that there's no place for you on the team, tell you that they're not going to keep you. I mean, who wants to be in that kind of environment? I've had managers who fought for me, who fought to keep me, and they still lost because the people above them made the decision, so they couldn't keep me. So, I mean, these are the circumstances of life. This is what you deal with in life. And we have to be resilient. We have to come out of our comfort zone, try new things. I can't crochet. I tried. I got a crochet needle. I tried to do it, but it's not that good. So I do knitting, I do embroidery, I do other things that I'm good at. But it's important to try new things, even if it's baking or cooking or something that will stretch us, that will help us to learn. Because as we learn, we're also developing our potential. And we have to be willing to change. We have to be willing to surround ourselves with people who are better than us. That's why I'm part of HRPA. That's why I'm part of the Maxwell team, because there are people who are better than me. They have successful businesses. They have the contacts. They have the options that I don't. And they will open the doors for me. They will invite me. This one campaign, I met people when I volunteered with them. And one of them, he belongs to Engineers Without Borders, Tafiwa. He invited me to come as a delegate to the one campaign. But I don't have a job, so I can't go. That doesn't mean that I'm going to give up. I'm going to stay in touch with these people. I'm going to stay connected with them, continue to build relationships with them. And then if and when that job does open up and I'm making my $300,000 a year, $400,000 a year, then I'm going to go. Not as a volunteer, I'm going to go as a delegate. Those are the kinds of dreams I have. Those are the kinds of goals I have. And I'm not going to give up on them. So this is what John Maxwell is talking about. We can always reach our peak. We can always say, this is my plateau and this is as far as I want to go. And that's fine. If that's what you want in life and you've decided that you've accomplished everything you want to retire, you don't want to work anymore, you just want to be at home, that's fine. That's not what I want for my life. And we have to, people who are successful develop positively daily, Habits help us to learn and to grow. It's important to remember that. It's the same with when I go to events that the Jesuits invite me to. I go, I watch, I learn, I take my photographs, I see how things have changed. I don't just go and just plod along. I take an interest in what's happening. And the more you get to know people, the better your relationships can be. And the more you get to know what is needed in society, the higher you can go. The better your attitude, the better you'll do. And the more you'll be able to influence other people. There's a lot of people that I've influenced, whether it's at the Newman Center or whether it's at Regis or whether it's here in my condominium. There's people I meet every day that I influence, whether it's the security guards or the condo manager, and they influence me. The security guards know me well because I talk to them and they talk to me. Some of my neighbors have pets, they have dogs. The dogs come running to me when they see me because they know me. So this is what I'm talking about when I say that we focus on the people around us. And the people around you can make you or they can break you. It's the same thing at the church. The ladies like it when I come. They ask me, why don't you come to church every day? We miss you. And I tell them, you know what, I stay up late. I stay up till like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. applying for jobs. And then I get up and I relax. But I'll slowly start going back. I go to the church and go to the mass, stay for the rosary. But that's what I'm saying. There are people in the community who know us, who like us, who trust us. And as they get to know us and like us and trust us, those opportunities will come for us. That's why we don't give up. We don't give up. I won't give up. Because if I give up, who's going to believe in me? They'll tell me, go and work on the kibbutz. That will be good for you. Just go there, or maybe go to the, some of these religious organizations. They can give you a room and a bed. You can stay with them and help them. Because that's what your potential is. You don't have any potential. Or maybe you can go be a maid for someone, go live in their house. They can give you a board and lodge, and you can stay there with them. Because, you can't really do anything in life. That's what people will tell you. That's what people tell me. Despite the fact that I've proven I can sit on boards, I can hold a job, I can work, I'm organized, I'm effective, I have the ability to communicate. So it depends who you're going to listen to. You can either listen to people like that, or you can listen to people like John Maxwell, who are going to encourage you to make the investment, to come up higher, to learn, to grow. It's up to us. We have a choice to make. And I want to be like my aunt. My aunt, she sent me, she took out all her savings and she sent it to me. When I had my place, she couldn't do it because she had her own expenses to meet. She couldn't do it. But now she sends me jobs. She sends me director level jobs. My dad's sister, Auntie Teresa. She sends me jobs she sees for non-profits. She tells people, my niece is good. She's looking for an opportunity. She took her money out of her savings and she sent it to me. So did my brother. So did my sister. So do my friends. Do you think I like being in this position where the company is telling me you only worth $17.50 an hour? It's a multi-billion company. Oh, but we have expenses. Sure, you have expenses, but if you're not investing in your people, if you're not paying us a living wage, if you're not looking out for our health and our well-being, and every operations manager is different. When I worked for Muhammad, he fought for me. He called the clients in front of me and they spoke to them and they said, this is not right, what you guys are allowing the customers to do to our team, to our employees. That's when you want to do more. That's when you want to give more. That's when you want to excel for the company. Because you want to work for people who care about you. You want to work for people who are interested in saying, hey, our employees haven't got a pension. Let's do something. Or they haven't got benefits. Let's do something. That's the type of company everybody wants to work for. Nobody wants to work for a company that's going to say to you, well, that's how it is. Oh, you took 3 minutes longer to go to the toilet, so you're fired. Or we're not paying you because your nose was bleeding. That's out of my control. So if people are getting up, dressing up, and showing up, have some appreciation for your employees because we're doing a good job for you. And I'm not going to give up on my dreams of splitting my time between here and Zimbabwe and England. I'm going to keep doing it and keep doing it. And somewhere along the line, I will meet somebody else like Tafiwa, who will send me an invitation to say, come to the G7 as a delegate. We would love to have you. That's what I want. That's my dreams, that's my aims, that's my goals. And I also want to do what my aunt did for me. I want, without asking, to go and give my nieces money and say, yeah, this is for your education. I want you to study. I want you to come up in life. I want you to do better than me. That's what I want. Because if she could do more, she would have done it, but she can't. She's retiring now. So please, help me out. Send my name out. Talk to your contacts. Share my videos. Tell people what I can bring to the table. Tell people what I can do for the organization. And I'm always willing to learn. I'm always willing to learn, but I've helped others, now I need others to help me. And I've set a good example for others. I'm talking about my aunt, I'm talking about my sister, everybody else, but I've also done it for people. I've also given money without being asked. I've made calls without being asked. I call people on their birthdays. I call people to stay in touch. So I've been there for others, whether it's my sister, my brother, my mother, my aunt, my uncles. I've been there for them. And even if I couldn't go when they've had their heart attacks, when they've had surgeries, I've called their wives. I've stayed in touch with them. I've made the trips. So if people are not willing to come and make that time for me, or if every time I reach out to ask for help, they switch it and they want to talk about their wives' families, I'm just going to stay away. Because I also want people who are interested in me, who want to stay in touch with me for who I am. And I've got those people in my life now. So I don't turn to people who don't want to hear my problems, who can't take it anymore, who don't want to be there for me. I've got other people. It's perfectly fine. So that's what I would encourage people to do and to think about. And please put my name forward. They can't hire me in teleperformance. I applied and applied and applied. They're not hiring. So let somebody else hire me instead of sitting and watching back and seeing my life going down the toilet and not having any income coming in. Because nobody wants to land up in poverty. And I want to be like my mother. Her husband said to me, she's got the money. I've got a place to stay. I want to have the money. I want to have my own money. And my grandmother also told me, she said, I want you to have your own money. I don't want you to be at the mercy of other people. I want you to go to university, study, have an education, and to be financially secure. And you know what? That's what I want for myself. The money is important to me. If I get a job in America paying me $200,000 a year, I'm not going to stay here. For what? For love of Canada. When I can't even meet my bills, when I don't have a pension, when I don't have medical coverage, I'm not going to stay. For what? I want that good paying job. That's what's important to me. And I want to use my skills and continue to grow. And yes, I want the society to benefit. I'm not selfish, but I'm being selfish to say that I want that money, yes, because that's what I want. I want a good paying job.